Hey y'all, good morning. Happy Monday, happy moon day. This is the day where we absolutely follow our intuitive nudges and, just kind of give a little 2-second pause between thinking and doing and just really see what's in front of us. For this energy for this week or today, maybe. It's very calm today. Drinking my coffee. I like this energy. So I've already pre-shuffled my cards. That's something I like to do just to kind of see what energy I'm in this week. So, first off, I'm being called to show that we are in our spiritual, free spirit, rebel energy. And the next card after that is to stay balanced and rooted in who you know you are. Also stand in your authority. We could very much be doing shadow work that is enhancing our master DNA. So that means we are literally, the things that we're going through. So I'm going to put that to the side. Look, under communicate the messages. Absolutely. So this is a good time to tap into you. I feel like we could be looking at a lot of tarot readings or just trying to talk to other people and trying to really figure out what's best for us when we really just need to go within. Okay. Now was the time. For some reason, I feel the need to talk about these cards first. Now was the time, because we're going through so many things within the moon cycles, which is how we're getting the upgrades in our DNAs. We're ascending higher. And so what I'm hearing is new levels, new devils. Okay. This is a time where we, just because we know that we should nurture ourselves as well as others. Try, if we can remember in the moments of things, to even when we have to advocate for ourselves, the best bet is to try to always communicate in the most of nurturing ways. Okay. We want to ensure that we keep positive karma on our end. Positive karma, dharma, whatever all that shit is. We want to always be rooted in what we know. And when it comes to the free spirit and the rebel, we know what that means. We know that everybody is, just trying to get through life with all these cycles that are happening. We're not the only ones upgrading our DNA. We're not the only ones that are experiencing all these eclipse seasons, these retrogrades, and all these moon cycles that are happening. So we have to be compassionate in knowing that, and the knowledge, exactly. See, because we are probably teachers or knowledgeable. If you're reading me, then my tribe is very in tune with the matrix, very in tune with what this world is really about. And we use that knowledge that's within us. We don't need to look for anything outside of us. Everything we have is in us. Everything we already need, we already have. It's within, okay? Especially if you know what you're doing. So with that being said, it is our divine right and our divine power to try to be the peacekeeper and remain in a serene, calm, nurturing energy. Okay? sit with yourself. Look, you have a dog. You might want to get a little dog or emotional, what is it called? Emotional support dog. Trusting your intuition, because I'm looking at the moon. Lighting a fire, something that's really calm, so that you can really put yourself in alignment to hear what we need to hear, and just stay, no matter what you're going through, just stay in a peaceful state. This week, let's literally try to, in the forefront of our mind, know that we need to be a peacekeeper. Keep the peace. I don't care what's coming your way. Stay balanced, stay rooted, because we know it's better to stay balanced. Any decision that we need to make, it needs to come from a balanced and decision manner. You know, I don't care what people come at your way having. You stay centered and rooted in peace. And that's just it. Stay rooted and centered in peace, okay? Period. So that's that energy there. Let me take a little sip of my coffee. If you follow me, y'all know I'm like me and coffee right now. I've never been like this with coffee, you guys, but so good. I don't know why it's calming right now. So I pulled out some cards. Well, I already did that, but my tarot cards. So when I'm talking about staying rooted in who you are and continue to be the spiritual rebel that you are, but stay peaceful, it's because we could have been in conflict with a few people or one person, you know, and this is a time where both people are walking away, boundaries are drawn, and you may have won the battle, but it's not without, like, you may have always, like, what you may be saying may be right, you know what I mean? And I know sometimes when I'm young, people will be like, it's not what you're saying, it's how you're saying it. People can't hear you if you don't say it correctly. And I always say people want you to cuddle them, and that's so true. People are more sensitive than they let on. So, like, the energy that I'm feeling is kind of like a time of conflict, or like you and someone else could not be in agreement of something. So now boundaries are drawn. Now no one's speaking. You could be blocked. You know what I mean? Everyone's acting from ego opposed to from their higher self. It's like rage could have been used. Rage. So now you're moving away or moving on. Someone is moving away or moving on. Either you are or they are. Whoever else is in conflict, or someone is making a transition. But trust your intuition. Either you feel like moving on or moving forward. Either way, move forward. Whether it be from the conflict or the person who you were in conflict with, move forward. And you could have very much been like having to talk. It might have been like, I don't know if it's with a lover or with friends, but it's something about mutual respect, giving and receiving, like balancing it out. It needs to be balanced, to give or to receive. Like I'm giving more than you're giving more than me. The conflict could be something like that, where you feel like you're always giving more than what the person is giving. But remember to remain nurturing energy and be balanced in like the knowing of being the peacekeeper. However, this card is saying, you know, Spirit is going to bless you with the fulfillment of the heart. You're going to be overflowed by your heart's desires. You know what I mean? And feeling calm waters. So, and this is even talking about waters, because at first you're on hard ground. Someone could be trying to figure out who to balance, who to give their self to. I don't know, something like that. And you're moving away from the hard ground. You know what I mean? This is still telling me like passion and heart's desires. The swords are coming up because it could be surrounding, like, for me, when I think of, like, if this was me and this was a sword, it's like, okay, I have blocked my heart off. I'm very guarded in protecting myself. You know what I mean? And so, but God is saying, you know, we might have to give a little bit of time, being that we had those moon cycles, but you will get what your heart's desires, and you will be overflowing with, you know, feeling emotionally fulfilled. God is going to give you that. So I want you to stand in your knowing with that. Don't go off of what the 3D is saying. Tap into the 5D. Because a lot of the times what's already in the 5D, we just got to get there. You know what I mean? You just have to get there. What's going to happen is already written. We have to align ourselves. We have to do the shadow work to be able to align ourselves to get there. Make sense? And it may not even be you who has to do the shadow work. It might be the other party. The other party could be the one that has all this work to do, but you stand rooted and stay solid and your inner knowing, because of course we're spiritual rebels, so that means we're rooted in our intuition. We know everything is just not like the mind's eye, what's in front of us. You know what I mean? That's how I feel. So let me get the core card. So again, there's in the 3D, there's a limitation that's being placed. And look, I keep seeing this dog, because it's even in this card, it's a dog with a peacekeeper. So it could be like something in regards to like, and then this is kind of like fiery energy in the tree, like plant or natural things that are coming natural. You know, for me, I'm getting, like, when I see a dog, that's a man's best friend. So this could be someone that could be like a best friend energy, and you're having to choose between one person or something else. And the dog is on a leash, so it could feel like a limitation. You know what I mean? Like, there's limits placed on where you can go, what you can do, or you feel as if it is. But just my advice is to stay serene. Stay in that peacekeeper energy. The rhythm, the vibe is feeling like limited. So there's like what is this, like a swan, a peacock or something, and then a rabbit, and I'm seeing like leaves and something else. I don't know what I'm looking at, but to me, so the swan or the ostrich or whatever, those things walk with grace. So no matter what you're feeling, remain calm and graceful. This rabbits are like horny. I don't know. They hop around. One could be like in a graceful energy, and someone else could be more coming from, because rabbits kind of hop around. You might have to adapt to the rhythm of what's going on around you. Even though we're trying to remain in our graceful state, you might have to adapt to what's happening around you, like adapt to the rhythm, go with the flow maybe. But underneath, it could be a lot of rage because you do feel like there's limits being placed on you. But let's calm that rage down. And let's be rooted in peacekeeping. Rage could be why we are in this predicament, and we want, like, you know, when you speak with a rage because limits have been placed. Either the limits are there or you've felt like they've been in place, which is what makes you communicate in a rage. If we can stay rooted and grounded and being a peacekeeper, you know, you get more bees with honey. And then if you don't, then that person, they're not moving with integrity. They're not moving in genuinity. Is that a word, genuinity? They're not genuine. You know what I mean? So sometimes you have to be able to be okay with someone walking away in conflict. You know what I mean? You have to sometimes be okay with not being chosen. You have to sometimes be okay. And you have to trust that if they're walking away, whatever's happening, trust that that's what's supposed to happen. You would rather have pure people around you. You know what I'm saying? And that's where the wisdom and discernment coming in. And being rooted. Again, being rooted in who you know you are. You know what I mean? And it's like if people walk away, then that's what's really best for your highest self, for your highest good in the long run, in the long term of things. Trust that God, Mother Nature, you know, Spirit has your ancestors, your spirit guides, the archangels are doing everything for your highest good, especially if you are God's child. You know what I mean? You living in divine alignment on your higher self, and you're a person that is rooted in love and nurturing and compassion and harmony. The universe is always going to conspire to bring you what's best for you. But sometimes other people could have other shit going. You know what I mean? And you don't want to like intertwine yours with their karmic patterns or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? So I think in this time we are... Okay, so all these cards came up. So I know I need to talk about all these cards in my shuffle. It just wasn't enough space on my table. So the first card that I pulled was Surrender to the Beauty of the Natural World. In the time of where we feel rage, lack, limitation, conflict, go sit outside. Go connect with nature so you can reel yourself back into that serene peacekeeper energy. That's why in that one picture, she was like outside in the mountains, you know what I mean? Just kind of by herself. Just kind of hearing and feeling how to move forward and regrounding oneself and just being still. And knowing who you are and being okay with what's going on. You know what I mean? The next card is Surrender to Divine Timing. Because remember, I told you, God is going to deliver your heart's desires. You just got to surrender to divine timing, because it could be the situation that you're walking away from, or that you like are like not in. It might not even be your issue to have. You know what I mean? It might not even be you being the one that needs to figure this shit out. You just gonna surrender to complete healing of, you know, open fully to loving, compassionate forces of the universe that support physical, emotional, and spiritual healing. And that is the energy that we need to align ourselves with. When you are spiritual rebel and we're, you know, earth angels. We have to consciously and continuously love like God. And I don't mean like romantic love, that agape love. Be loving, nurturing, compassionate. You know, your physical ailments, your emotional and your spiritual healing. Like, because in this card, it's all this confusion. But we're moving away from that. That's what we're moving away from that to calmer waters. So we can be able to speak from calming energies. You know what I mean? We need to remain calm at all times. I know for myself, and when I talk about my dad and my family, it's always about how we talk crazy to each other. I be talking crazy to people. People always say it's not what you say, it's how you say it. People always feel disrespected by me. And all I'm trying to do is get my point across. But when I get my point across, it's always coming from an underlying tone of rage. Because sometimes you don't say things, you don't speak up when you need to. So then when you do, it's like because you're at your tipping point. You know what I mean? Learn how to advocate for yourself right then and there. First off, learn how to advocate for yourself right then and there when you need to. B, if you don't and you feel like you need to say something, learn how to communicate with like not a like having a rage undertone, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? God loves you. You're safe. We know that we need to always love like God, and that is an agape love. We need to be rooted in that, and we need to always remember that, and not allow like anybody outside of ourselves be able to move us to the point. Like, you know, when we feel disrespected, we need to remember that we need to learn in that moment how to handle things, and that's the type of skill that you have to build. We don't always have that. Plus, you know, that turns into like, you know, just generational traumas. And these are things that might, and because it was, remember when I said because I keep talking about my dad. So remember when I said we were doing shadow work and we were having an upgrade in our DNA. So for me, and now we're surrendering to deep healing. So this isn't even something that's like a karmic. This is something that you're healing from, like generational DNA type shit. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like in you. And so that's where we have to surrender to the complete healing. Because this is like bigger than us. That's why you were chosen. To do the generational healing, to break the change, break the generational traumas, break all the things that were no longer serving your lineage. You know what I mean? And it's very hard. It's very hard. But that is where you have to stay deeply rooted in what you know and who you are. But please know that you are having a master DNA upgrade through the eclipses, through the retrogrades, through all these things that are coming. You know what I mean? It's happening in real time. So in this time, please go out in nature and connect yourself to like loving energy, calm, serene energy. Because when you look at the trees, when I'm outside, I always, you know, it's either hot or it's like a little bit of a breeze. And I just look at the trees and they're still. They're rooted in who they are. They're still. The leaves may flutter, depending on if it's a little breeze or not. The birds would chirp. The birds would be flying in and out. You could see butterflies flying. You'll see squirrels. You'll see dogs barking. You'll see people coming. It'd be all these things. But nature is just still. Rooted. Let's be like the trees. Let's be deeply rooted no matter what's happening, whether it's good or bad. We are. deeply rooted in the knowing of who we are. Okay? Surrender your need to always be right when it comes to like, because this is a man and right, it says give others the gift of letting them be right. Be yielding, not rigid. This will help resolve conflicts and improve your relationships. Sometimes, you have that saying, would you rather be right or happy? Because being right can sometimes cause conflict because some people can't handle the truth. So, about themselves. You, instead of like telling people about themselves, sometimes you just have to be the inspiration. Sometimes you just have to show them how to treat you. And you have to do that through treating them correctly, and it might change how they treat you. You may have always treated them right, but I don't know. I just, surrender resentments. Because somebody could have not always treated you correctly. But that's why, through your experiences, you're the master teacher. You, the one watching this, and I'm even talking to myself. My tribe, we are master teachers. We are the ones that's breaking the generational curses. We are the ones that are like tapped in. We know what's up. God didn't already gave us the wisdom that we got to be deeply rooted in. So, and I'm telling you, we have to love like God. Love is not always romantic. Sometimes you have to love your romantic partner in an agape, brotherly sister love to like love them back to health. And we can't do that if we're rooted in like passion and anger and rage. Let it go. Let the past go. Let the past go. Let it go. Let it go right now. Let it go. 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 Let that shit go. Okay? Just be a lover. I'm a Gemini. I'm literally a lover sign. So like anything else is crazy. Anything else is insane. I'm literally a Gemini with a Cancer rising, so I'm a lover, and I'm like the master nurturer, and Tauruses are the most ambitious, hardworking. Be rooted in those. I don't know. People say zodiac is the devil. That's crazy as hell. That's crazy as hell. But they know what they know. I know what I know. You do what you do, and I'm gonna do what I do, and I'm gonna just worry about me, and I'm gonna give love, and I'm gonna be rooted in what I know, no matter what I hear, no matter what I see, no matter what someone says. I need to be deeply rooted in compassion and nurturing and giving and showing love. So let that shit go, baby. Surrender your denial. You got to accept people and situations exactly as they are without denying the difficulties. Then you can see things clearly and make the best decisions. So don't be like, have rose-colored glasses. Sometimes when you are a lover and we are in our pure white light, like, I know that you cannot always, you want to see things for what they are, but you have to see clearly. Don't be in denial of your fear of intimacy or like see it how it is. But this says you are ready to let love in. Compassionately identify and begin to release any patterns that stop you from opening your heart. Do not be closed off and full of resentment where you can't see, love is not easy. It's work. It's not easy. Through love, that is how you heal yourself. That is how you and the other person can maximize their experience on earth. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. So you have to embrace everything that comes with love. Embrace it all. Embrace every emotion. Embrace every conflict, pain, Embrace it because it's all for our highest good. And surrender your intuition. You know, tune into your inner voice. In that one picture, it was like the one lady with her dog sitting there just kind of like going within. Tune into your inner voice to be aware of any gut feelings, flashing knowings, or aha moments that you have come through your guide, and let that be your lead. Because your intuition is rooted from your womb, is rooted from love. If you get a bad vibe, go with it. But we're surrendering our fear of intimacy because you've been hurt so much. You don't want to open up, or you protect yourself. You know, you don't want to be vulnerable. Excuse me, but this is very much about... This reading is very much about like romantic something. You know what I mean? That's just how I feel. That's how I feel. If you feel like, well, Spirit is telling us we got to work on our fear of intimacy. When you have a fear of intimacy, you kind of guard yourself, and then you don't really allow yourself to have like connections that are not surface. You know what I mean? A lot of people have connections based on money, survival mode. But if it's really rooted in love, you have to embrace all that shit. Because it, you know, some people stay with people for obligatory reasons. But when it's real love, you kind of go through the motions. And that's why I think it's saying accept the shit for what it is. Because sometimes love... Somebody can love you but not always choose you because of their outer circumstances. And you have to be rooted in what you know. You know humans are going to do that. You know we're spiritual beings having a human experience. You know humans have a pattern. You know humans, you know. So in my own experiences, people didn't choose me because I wasn't giving them money, because I had to take care of myself. You know, I was always going through things. I was in survival mode. So I couldn't be there for you if I could barely be there for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna like... And it's not that you can't be there for that person, because you can. But it just be the timing of things. That's why that other one said, surrender to divine timing and surrender to the beauty of the natural world, because people make decisions based on what's happening in front of them at the moment. Be rooted in the knowing of that. And then you just have to like you know, if someone walks away from you, you just release them lovingly, but don't have resentments. Because then that's when you create karmic ties or karmic situations where you'll come back in another lifetime because you haven't healed it. Surrender to healing. Surrender to complete healing of whatever it may be. We're not in denial about the difficulties. We're not in denial that this might not go our way. We're not in denial that this person tripping. We're not in denial, but we have to see it and accept it for what it is and love them anyway. And if your intuition is telling you to fight for love and do this and let go of the resentments, so you can have a deeper level of intimacy with someone, please do it. Don't be in your ego. This is not a time for ego. We're not in ego. We in love. Okay? Embrace everything that comes with life. And that's the thing I think we need to remember, is we have to embrace every single emotion that comes with being spiritual divine beings, having physical expressions of the most high divine in this world, because it's all for the higher good of our soul's growth. That is what we'll take with us, the memories. That is how we do not come back. We remember, and we love through it all. We love through it all. We love like God through all the ups, through all the down. You know, it may take a lot for us to like get to that loving place. Just make sure you get to that loving place. Okay? Bam. We don't need to be right. Let's be love. Stop being right and let's just be love. Okay? Just be love. Period. We almost done, y'all. Whew, I had to like surrender to passion. I just want to tell you, surrender to passion. If it brings you passion, like live your most best passionate life. Because, you know, just if it brings you passion, fuck it. Do it. Fuck it. Fuck it. Embrace the highs and the lows of that shit. Fight for it. You don't need to be right. Fuck it. Anyways. This came out first. 3457. This is also talking about spiritual wisdom, knowledge from being a spiritual rebel. Be rooted in your wisdom. Look, it's in your intuition. This is the moon for me. This is the expansion of the solar plexus chakras coming from our head. We are rooted in like being of the elite who is tapped into loving like God and getting the God force downloads. And that is to be love. You know what I mean? And we are mastering that. We're mastering that by using our hands, by using the powers that we know, by understanding. And this is again, this is the yellow chakra. This is all in the knowing. We are in the knowing, spiritual knowing. Our foundation is rooted in knowing God is, or the ancestors, whatever you believe is giving us, is guiding us. Remember, it says surrender to your intuition. Because this is the age of knowing, absolute knowing of who and what is for us. God is telling us, you just get into nature to hear. We are absolutely transforming. 4 + 5 is 9. This is, again, transforming into renewal of the mind. The mind. We are knowing. We're knowing what's for us. We know. And we love our way through because somebody else may not know. And that'd be the conflict. You know, but they don't know because they could be operating out of a different frequency or like, but we're all healing. And you have to know that. And that's how you'll get your fortune, 7, 8, 9 at the end of the cycle of the hardships. But that's how, because fortune may not just be like monetary. But see, this is flowers and shit. This is like queen energy. And that's the thing. That's the real bag, is being rooted in your knowing, being rooted in having that relationship with God, and being able to surrender to your intuition and know your way through. I'd rather have Jesus than silver and gold. You get what I'm saying? Like in the God consciousness, the Christos consciousness, like the higher, by the rising of the solar plexus chakra, like, baby, that's the real bag. Love and being rooted in God. That's the fortune. Needing to be right, needing to have all this money, needing to do all this, that is like, it's ego. The real bag is operating out of your soul's alignment, your soul's force, the master DNA, being able to upgrade your DNA, being able to change the trajectory of your lineage. That is the fortune. That's the real bag. That's the real bag. So my iPhone, my iCloud storage right now is how to start this up. But we almost done now, y'all. this came out. Be nurturing. This is what I've been saying this whole time. And it's master number 11. That's the whole thing that we need to master, is becoming more nurturing with our words, with our actions, and being compassionate. 6, 7. Nurturing, master number 11. Master number 11. And 6 plus 7 is 7, 8, 9. Compassion. And when you master that, you'll get that new beginning. I don't know why I felt the need to pull that. But that's a word, okay? That is a word. We're mastering our wisdom, compassion, being a nurturer. 3 plus 1 is 4. That's when you'll be rooted in your new beginning. We are transforming. And that is the real bag. When you master those qualities. Those are the human qualities that we need to be like in the image of God. Be aware. 4 plus 2 is 6. So we knew we're changing our thoughts. It's a very spiritual number. When we're being aware. When I pay attention to my surroundings, I feel an appreciation for everything. I see so much beauty in the world. Being aware means living in the present and full, experiencing my life in the here and now. I am aware. Allow yourself to be alive. 6 plus 2, 6, 7, 8. That's abundance. When you honor your life, no matter what you go through, you can always change the energy and change the course. You know, I was saying, let it go, let it go. It says, now honor my life by letting go. Dancing is really one of the most human and healing things we can do for ourselves. To dance and to laugh and to sing and be joyful. And just feel the fullness of life's energy. Because again, we all have to embrace every emotion. Because we have to feel every emotion. When I'm true to myself, I'm having fun and I'm alive. You can be holy and human. And I'm living by that. It's okay to be holy and human. Don't guard yourself off to where you pushing off the fun people that allow you to feel life and feel alive. But do be discerning. 222 plus 0 was 2. So that's like something that we should know. I love myself enough to say no to people and situations that don't serve my highest good. I am discerning. So that doesn't mean, that goes back to that thing, to see things for what it is. Don't be blind. If it's not for you, then it's not for you. And be discerning enough. That is how you protect yourself, is you be discerning. You don't use words of rage. You don't use weapons. You discern. And then you do what you need to do. That is how you protect yourself. You be discerning about things. You know, it's up to you to be like, okay, well, maybe this isn't the time. So let me do what I got to do, because I'm not coming from an energy of lack. I am whole. Because and it's the number 3, whole, because it's Mother Nature, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. You are rooted in all 3. You are whole. Everything you need is within you, because that's when we're getting the guidance and the instructions from God. You are whole in knowing that you are perfectly created. You're whole in knowing that you are a wonderfully unique individual, and every lesson you have learned and every risk you have taken and every achievement you have made contributed to who you are. And that's what's made you whole. Because we are spiritual beings that come here to have human experiences and to fully feel and embrace every human emotion, every archetype that there is to play out in this world. This is what we came here for. This is literally what we signed up for. So right now, more than anything, I feel the need, just focus on your ambitions and your goals and put your actions into, your ideas into actions. And, you know, just focus on your heart's true desires, because everything in, like, when it comes to being ambitious, because that is, I keep bringing up fortune. That is what, when you're whole, we all have our own, we all came here to complete something other than falling in love and doing all that. You get it? So, and it is to work and be ambitious and create generational wealth and legacy for the our lineage to come. And you are connected. Says, I have more in common with others than I realize. I see commonality with people rather than focusing on outward differences. You are focused. And you are grateful. We know we're alive. We're aware that we are alive. We are discerning to understand that we are whole. And if something doesn't serve you at the moment, pivot. But understand that you are whole. You don't need anything outside of yourself. You and God, okay? And you stay focused, always moving forward on your ambitions, because you're connected and you are focused. Stay grateful, because when you're grateful, you can transform everything around you and attract everything for you. Know that you are safe. You are safe in every situation, because you are rooted in your knowing, and you are rooted in the wisdom and being connected to God. You okay, baby? We don't need to come from rage. We know that we're safe and we're connected. We're attraction. We know we're whole. We know we're alive. We're aware. We're very discerning. We know that we have a deep connection. We know we're master teachers. We know about the moon cycles. We know what's happening. We know. Let the resentment go. Let the bags go and just flow. And may every word that comes out of our mouth be compassionate, be nurturing, be loving, be uplifting and honoring to those around us. Because that's how you attract, and that's how, again, we are physical manifestations of God. Let's remember that. And let's operate from that. You will change everything around you. Everything around you will change if we can at every moment remember that, especially the ones where we feel like we aren't getting a fair share of whatever. But that has nothing to do with what others do, has nothing to do with you, but everything to do with where they are, what they got going on, the energies they're coming from. That has everything to do with you. As long as you show up correctly, that's all you can do. And make sure that you don't have no karma to play out, that you got to reincarnate here because you didn't learn the lesson, or it was just bad vibes, bad energy. No. Be rooted in who you are and what you know, okay? I wish you all a happy week. Maybe I'll come on here and do zodiac signs, but this was a collective read for the week. Excuse me. So, let's just master being nurturing. Let's master compassion. Let's master discernment. Let's master... Where did I put those pictures, guys? We're mastering wisdom, compassion, nurturing, because those are where we get our new beginnings. That's where the fortune is, in the new beginnings and transformations. The moon cycles is happening right now. The eclipses, the retrogrades, and all that this is what's happening right now. We are upgrading our master DNA, which means that this is bigger than us. We're changing generational curses and generational things that held our previous lineage back. We are fighting right now. This is the time that we incarnated here for. We are alive. Let's embrace it all. We don't need to be right. We just need to be happy. I love y'all. Have a great day.